Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Dana here. Today I'm going to do a little bit of experimenting. I really want to try out doing some image transfers. I've never done it before, so I want to try it out. I was totally inspired by Kat Kerr. I watched a video of hers and she did an image transfer on the Dura-Lar, the matte film, and I just absolutely loved the way it looked. So I got this set. This is a digital set from Bumfuzzle Boutique. They are on Etsy, and this is the Dark Academia set. Let me just do a quick flip through here. So this is the full set that you get. You get all these fun little cutouts. Now I laser printed these and I just printed them out as they come. So I just downloaded them and printed them, but you could always resize them if you want to. And I'm thinking with this section here, that would make a really, really fun tag. But then I'm also going to do these two sheets for the image transfer because I think these would look cool as kind of like a see-through embellishment on some tags. So for the image transfer, I'm going to try this out doing using some matte medium. I've seen it a couple different ways. I've watched several YouTubes on this. But I'm going to try it out with the matte medium since that's what I have. And my lid was kind of glued shut there. Let me get the goober off. Yeah, that's not going to come off very easy. Okay, I'll do it later. So I'm just going to put some of this on here. I don't really know how much I'm supposed to use. Just as long as it's coated, I'm assuming. Now, I say I've watched lots of YouTube videos on this, and I have, but it's been a minute. So I'm kind of trying to remember the steps. I mean, it can't be that difficult. You're essentially just gluing a piece of paper onto something else and then wetting it and taking off the pulp is basically the situation from what I gather. And I'm just going to do the whole sheet. You could always cut off the edges. I'm just going to do the full thing. I hope that's enough. I don't know if you could really do too much. It probably just affects your drying time. We'll see. So I'm just going to lay the Dura-Lar right on top, and it's see-through so I can see if I'm lined up here. I'm just going to give it a press, and then I'm going to flip it over and get a bunch of matte medium on the back. And then I'm just going to use my little squeegee here. This is just a car detail squeegee that I got off of Amazon. I'm just going to make sure everything I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but there's little black pieces everywhere. I think this is just, yeah, it looks like it's just the silicone from the squeegee. I'm probably pressing too hard. Okay, set that aside to dry. And do another one here. Now these, it is later in the evening, so I will probably just let them dry overnight. I don't think you would have to let it dry that long. It just, let it dry until it's dry. But so again, since it's later in the evening, I'm just going to let it dry overnight. These are going to be so fun. If this works, it's going to be so fun. Even if it's, a little grungy, that's okay. That's, pretty much my style. I like things a little grungy, a little worn, torn, well-loved, so no worries. And this one, I've actually got more of the matte medium. So we'll see how that goes. Another piece of Dura-Lar, line it up-ish. Ooh, okay. It slid around, so be aware of that. If you use quite a bit of the medium, your pages will slide around a bit here. Flip it over, give it a squeegee. And the squeegee is just to make sure that there's good contact between the two pieces of paper. Well, the printed piece and the Dura-Lar. And since I don't have any print along the edges, I'm not really worried about that. Okay, and last but not least, this one, I think that mushroom is going to be so much fun. Just have a little like transparent vellum-y looking mushroom just poking out of somewhere. Okay. Give that a squeegee. And if you start hearing some bangs, my neighbors are doing some yard work, some major yard work, and they're tossing a bunch of stuff in the roll-off dumpster. So that's what that is. Somebody's not trying to break into my house or something. Okay, so I'm just gonna let those dry and I'll be back for the next step tomorrow. Okay, so these have now dried overnight, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the paper. So excited for this. Now I've seen some people actually dip their paper into water. But I'm just gonna use my spray bottle. So all you do is you wet it and you rub it. And what you want to do is get all the paper pulp off. Now this is a project I don't recommend for people who don't like the feeling of like soggy wet paper. If that bugs you, definitely don't do this. Also, this is not a very clean project. You will end up with this type of situation all over your desk. So just be aware of that. You'll be able to tell when you've got all or at least most of the pulp off because your image won't be as cloudy looking. And this is definitely good for exfoliating the fingertips. If you have dry fingertips, this is a great project for you. Okay, so I've got most of it off on that spot. So I'm just going to show you here. So I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it's more translucent now. So it makes the image almost look like it was printed on vellum. So cool, but I'm going to continue doing this one and the other two, and then I'll come back and show you everything when it's all dried and cleaned off. Okay, so everything's all dry. I got all of the paper, well, most of the paper pulp off. And I did already cut a tag out of that side that I said I was going to, and then I cut out some of the little pieces here for the little bits of ephemera. And these are so cool because you could use either side. You know, with the way that these are designed, you really can't read the books anyway, so it doesn't matter if they're backwards. So you can use either side. So cool. And then here is the tag that I made with this collection. So I used the collage type paper for the background, and I used the front side of it. So the Dura-Lar is on top, and then what I image transferred is actually on the back. So you can see here it's a little bit more vibrant on this side, but I wanted to use this side since it is the background. I wanted to send it into the back. And then I cut out little bits of the ephemera pieces. This one I used the front side up, so this is the side that that I took the paper pulp off of. And then these other two ones are the back side. And then I added on a little paper doll, a little bit of string, some flowers, a sentiment, and then two fun little transparency baths. These are all from Tim Holtz. And then I just added a little cheesecloth. And again, this is a Dark Academia collection set from Bumfuzzle Boutiques. And I will have a link to their Etsy shop down below. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was so much fun. I am definitely going to be doing some image transferring again. Thank you again for joining me. And as always, take some time to pamper your inner goddess, and I will see you in the next one.